that's going to bring us on to something I wanted to bring up. Don't think I ever shared this with you, but I actually shared this with Josh Willick, my business partner who's helping shoot this right now. So we actually shot a commercial, just as a background. We shot a really more of a documentary for Arc'teryx a couple months ago. And Arc'teryx, if you don't know, one of their main things is climbing. So what this kind of resulted in just me working on this project is, well, my algorithm was just feeding me lots of random climbing videos. So ultimately, one day I'm just scrolling through and I just saw this video on my feed. It was on YouTube Shorts, I think. And this guy, the opening shot, like all I'm gonna talk about is the first second of the video. I'll go back and try and find this if I can, so I can show it to you viewers. But basically, first second of the video, it's just this guy on the side of a huge cliff. And you're just looking up at this guy and he's like climbing up this thing. And there's just a caption. It was something about like how he fell, basically. And, you know, effectively, like I just saw that and I was like instantly hooked. I had to watch the end of the video. I was like, I want to see this guy fall off of a cliff, whatever. But ultimately, he didn't even really fall. He slips a little bit. It's a total letdown video. He slips a little bit and then like this thing like catches him because obviously he has good equipment, probably some Arc'teryx that, you know, that falls and whatever. But it really made me think that there's an opportunity there to do some type of hybrid between what brands are looking for right now on the video side. That's sort of a medium between, you know, traditional advertising, you know, throwing an ad on TV, whatever, and then like blending it with the UGC style. So basically make it something that looks like it's a video like that, where it's just a guy climbing up the side of a rock, basically. Yeah. And he just falls. Like that's just it. But it should put the caption is like, oh, like I fell, basically. Yeah. And just record this guy falling, have him so high that it looks like this guy's like gonna die or something. Like this is crazy. And I think that what you have right there is an amazing thing to pitch to a climbing brand or really just any type of climbing supply brand for just showing a video that ultimately is going to hook people in to come in and say like, hey, I want to watch this thing. And then at the end, they're going to say like, oh, well, the guy didn't die.
Oh, but, just kidding.
Yeah, like basically, ultimately, we are just kidding. It is a little bit of a letdown, but it really does communicate the value of the product that they're selling in the end. And that kind of makes me think like what they did there, that could be applied to a climbing brand. Yep. But this is also sort of a framework that could be used for, you know, completely different products, maybe services, where, you know, you're hooking people in with a situation in the first second of a video where it's like you think you already know how it's going to play out. So you know there's going to be some type of payoff at the end of this video, right at the beginning.
Yeah, the most immediate connection when you mention that to me is movie trailers. If it's like an action movie trailer, they'll do like the first 3 seconds or first 5 seconds with like an immediate climax of like an action sequence where it's just like, I don't know, Tom Cruise falling off of a plane or something. Right. And then they get into the actual trailer from the beginning where like that scene is probably in the last 10 seconds, right? I don't know if like it's called this, but like I'm gonna call it starting with a climax.
Front loading is what I call it.
Okay. Yeah, so just like building up that hook with like what you presume is going to happen in the story, but then you just kind of actually want to find out how did we get here. It's like how the TV show Better Call Saul, where like you actually know where Saul Goodman is going to eventually end up, but like you still want to find out how did he actually get there.
That's what keeps people hooked in watching all the way up until the very end. You know, I think like that Better Call Saul is one of my favorite shows ever. And I don't think I've ever been more hooked into something because it was just like exactly what you're saying, like what's going to happen? How did we get to the end? And, you know, I think like if you just watch, like, I think Mr. Beast is a great example because that's a very data-driven organization that is, you know, it's a $1 billion company run by a bunch of 20-year-olds, but they are actually kind of smart And I know that they do a lot of, A/B testing, and they know what works versus what doesn't. They've engineered like the whole concept of like what is a viral video. And I think you'll notice in every single Mr. Beast video, as soon as you watch it, first 5 seconds, hey, what's up guys? In this video, this is gonna happen. And then like you will see it and you've seen the end of the video, and then, you go back in and you'll watch for 12 more minutes, and it gets you to the end. And probably the most successful TikToks, probably all of these things are really front-loaded videos. But I think that there's something deeper than just front-loading with action. And it's more so looking at it from the perspective of promising a certain payoff. Because I don't think like in this video that I showed, like they didn't show the guy falling. They just made me think that like this guy's probably gonna fall, because he's on a big cliff, a comically high cliff. Like it looks like this guy's gonna splat on the ground. I'm just like, no way that's gonna happen, of course.
Now I'm just like thinking that if I were to think of a product example on like what that looks like, because we've been talking about content this entire time, doing a throwaway example of chocolates. I feel like if someone just started a chocolate brand saying, not that good, chocolates, or like the best chocolates, I'm gonna try it at least once to see if like if it's actually not that good, or if like it's the best. And then in the fine line it says, oh yeah, the best in Burlington, Ontario.
Or the worst.
Or yeah, it could be the worst chocolates. I might even try the worst chocolates.
Yeah.
Just to try what the worst chocolates taste like. And then throughout this consumer journey, I'm gonna find out, okay, is it actually the worst? I don't know.
No, that's a good direction. I think you've kind of got like a bit of a Nathan for you thing going there. Like, yeah. I don't know if you should watch the pilot of it if you haven't, but he basically goes into a yogurt shop, and they sell poop flavored frozen yogurt. And yeah, they're like, I mean, maybe they faked it for the show, but they had lineups the next day for like everyone being like, man, I gotta see what's going on with this poop flavored yogurt. Anyways, I feel like we've sort of beat this idea to death.